11 Change Lives by Butler of Deepwater, 2371. Achievement as a youth worker in a detention centre on the South Coast still brings tears to the eyes of this ageing yet hopeful woman. The challenge was to take 12 young people who were our worst reoffenders, yet approaching 18 years of age, and would end up in adult prison if they could not be turned around. The program was to run for 1 year, with a diverse group, mostly uneducated kids from street life. Some were Indigenous, only 2 were girls, the rest were boys. I approached the TAFE college teachers to help design practical skill courses and the business community to inform the teachers of skills needed to hire such kids. The whole community of Wollongong got behind the project with me, and we all went to work. The TAFE found funding for the project. The hardest part was convincing these kids that they could choose to change their lives. This took weeks of overcoming mindsets and showing them others who had overcome similar circumstances, which they came from, to succeed in various fields of endeavour. It also took challenging their belief that they were just an accident of some random act of sex between 2 people. After showing them weeks of evidence to the contrary, I asked them, if you were created a unique and special individual for a specific purpose that has the blueprint inside you, would you want to know what it is? Being a voluntary program, one of the 12 pulled out at this stage. However, the others became committed to going through and exploring if they could change their lives. In Opening Your Dream Machine, one of the illiterate boys drew me an intricate diagram of a fishing trawler and stated, I want to one day own my own. I took his diagram to the harbour, showing it to the guys on the trawlers, and one owner agreed to give him a job if he completed certain skills. The TAFE teachers incorporated those skills into their part of the program. Another boy was extremely good with art. He was actually a graffiti offender. He was offered work at the art gallery to start as a cleaner, with an agreement to go to art lessons paid by the gallery. The 2 girls went into the fashion industry and ended up flatting together and taking other street kids to teach them things they learnt with me. A few of the boys chose to go into the building industry as brickies labourers, and one was able to get work with a painter as a labourer. Another few boys were into mechanical things, so we found work for them with fixing lawnmowers, etc. And one worked hard and ended up going to TAFE to become a mechanic. One of the important modules I designed was a relationship module to equip them all to be able to get on with others very different to themselves. This was originally designed to help them in the workplace, however, also help them navigate romantic relationships as they entered society once more. One of the girls said to me, they talk about sex at school, but nobody tells us how to handle our feelings the next day when the guy ignores us or tells us to piss off. So we talked about how we think differently, and they learnt all the differences between men and women in every area of life. Living skills were needed, basic hygiene, how to care for themselves. It was a delight to take them out shopping to buy their outfits for their job interviews and see them develop self-respect as they encouraged each other with how well they scrubbed up. They were so proud of learning how to do a resume and were about to have an achievement certificate to place in it. We had so much fun doing mock interviews for jobs so they would feel more comfortable in an actual interview. One day we all ended up laughing so hard we gave up and went to lunch. One of these kids towards the end of the year said to me, I'm not scared of life anymore. I really believe I can do it. And he did. I shall never forget the award ceremony the TAFE teachers and business people put together for my kids. It was the first time they had ever been recognised for any accomplishment. To see their glowing faces and smiles was priceless. The program of choice was a pilot program that was so successful it landed me into a meeting with the then Prime Minister's office to speak with Mr. John Howard's advisors. I wanted to design a program similar to this one, to go through the schools before kids were involved in bullying, offending, and becoming either street kids because of uncontrolled emotions and frustrations, or end up in detention centres where, frankly, not all youth workers even believe they can change. The federal government was favourable to funding such a program if the states would come on board. I went to the state governments, who were in charge of curriculum development, and had huge slam doors. The Queensland Labor government said I should try to see if religious scripture would introduce the program. I went to see those who ran the Scripture Union, and they said if they opened the door to something like this, it could open the door for other religions besides Christianity into the schools. So it was no. So the program of choice was shelved. However, I realised the importance of relationship education, not just sex education. I went on to develop relational education, which helped over 400 couples to navigate relationships out of difficult and sometimes volatile backgrounds. I have written a relationship book, not yet published, which would be great in high schools, called How to Love Someone Special and Be Loved in Return. Is it time yet, Australia? The end.